Okay, this is my second actual professional electric guitar. Actually, it's my third. Earlier you heard me talking about the Les Paul that was on the wall, that I ended up selling that and getting a Gibson Sg. Well, it was the mid 80s, 87, 88. Everybody was playing the pointy metal guitars. Can you see that there? This is a Charvet. I went to Alpha Music in Virginia Beach, and I took the SG to trade in. I wanted a shredder. I wanted it to be fluorescent. I wanted it to have a Floyd Rose. Nobody cool was playing Gibsons at that time, particularly the SGs. I think these guys were going for about 500 bucks, and I think I gave the SG and another maybe $200, $250 for this. It was between this, I was looking at some Kramers. They were big at the time. This was actually a first time I'd ever heard of Charvet. I don't know if you can see the headstock there. Charvet was like a Korean offshoot of Charvel at the time, which were being made in Japan. And it was cheaper, and the sales guy's like, oh, it's the same thing, blah, blah, blah. It's just made in Korea. And at the time, Korean guitars weren't considered to be, you know, of a high quality. Now, of course, Korea makes fantastic guitars. So I went home with this. I got totally ripped off. Like I say, they basically got my SG for a couple $100. And this was like 1988. So they stole it. But this actually has been with me for a long time. I played and played and played it. I played it on a lot of recordings. I used to do a lot of home studio stuff. Stays in tune well, as you can see. It's got the Floyd Rose license. It's actually Jackson branded. The pickups are Charvel branded. I don't know much about them. But this whammy bar, you can see it in here. It actually, this is the original one. A lot of times when you see a black Floyd Rose, the whammy bar matches, but this one doesn't. It's 3 pickup, 5-way switch, standard Strat switching, rosewood fretboard. It had a gloss neck. It's been worn down over the years, so it's not quite as sticky. I can't say enough good about this guitar, actually, as much as I hated getting ripped off on the SG. It plays a variety of tones. It sounds good clean. It stays in tune well. One thing that's kind of unusual about it is, I don't know if you can see it, I'll kind of get in here. Can you see that? The fine tuners on this aren't the normal top mounted screws. It's kind of barrels at the end, which I actually like better, but apparently these are a fairly rare variation of the Floyd Rose. Anyway, this has been a great guitar. I'll probably always keep it. I don't play it that much anymore, but it does have sentimental value because I've had it for just about 20 years now. So this is a guitar, another guitar I got off eBay. It's a RG350M, I think. Maple neck, I mean, you know the specs, kids. Maple fingerboard, great frets, typical Ibanez sort of flat shredder neck. And I don't know if you can see here what I did with it. What I did with it is it had a black pickguard originally. So I did some customizing. I swapped the pickup and the bridge, put a DiMarzio in there, kept those 2 stock, but I put those covers on them, the plastic covers, to sort of jazz it up. I bought this pickguard after market. It was like a custom pickguard. It's basically just a clear piece of plastic with a printout of swirl underneath it. I did these markers. These are actually stick-ons, and I was always wondering, you know, how that would go. It had a regular dot neck, but I sort of borrowed the whole Ibanez gem thing here for the neck. It's a beautiful guitar. It plays great. Anyway, this is a nice guitar. And speaking of fretboard decals, this is another eBay monster that I got. It's a BC Rich Gunslinger. I think I picked it up for something stupid, sub $300, pretty much new. I love the way this guitar plays. The neck feels fantastic. It's as straight up rock and roll as you can get. Single pickup, single volume, no tone, no BS. This thing, like I say, it has probably a basswood body, maple neck, big frets, Floyd Rose locking tremolo, and if you notice, in sort of a tribute to Jason Becker to jazz it up, I put these fretboard decals on there with the numbers because I love that look on his guitar. I swapped the pickup. It had a designed by Duncan humbucker in there that I did not like, so I put a DiMarzio Air Zone in that. DiMarzio Air Zone, not Tone Zone. in this particular guitar, and it just is a monster now, and I still have probably less than $400 in it. If you'll notice, if you see a string hanging, that's not your eyes playing tricks on you. You see this string? That's because these, and I was going to fix that before the video, but these are the DR glow-in-the-dark strings. They look really cool, but I gotta tell you, I hate them. I don't know that they have any redeeming qualities whatsoever other than the fact that they look good. And I think what happens is, and I have this a lot, is the coating causes the tremolo, not the bridge, not to clamp down on the string tight enough, and it tends to come out. And even beyond that, it might work better on a fixed bridge type guitar, these particular strings, but even if it didn't have that issue, I don't like the sound of them. They're very, very dead. I should have known that that's how it would be. They're obviously coated. It's going to have its effects. Not good coated like Elixir. These are bad, dipped in paint coated. So I'm not even going to fix this string right now. I'm just going to restring it with normal strings because I'm just tired of fooling with it. And so that ends my experiment with DR glow-in-the-dark strings. But this is a beast. I didn't pay much for it at all, which always excites me. Staying with the Super Strat, the shred machines, I have the pinkest pink. You're going to ask yourself, how much more pink can this Jackson soloist be? And the answer is none. None more pink. The back of the neck is pink, the back of the headstock is pink, and whoa, neck goes right into the body. What a beautiful beast. I don't know if pictures are going to do it justice at all. Let me fool around with the studio lights here, try to get so you can hopefully pick that color up. This thing plays enormously good. It has that Jackson compound radius neck. I think this is one of the Korean models that they did. I tried to get a matching Strat, but you'd be surprised how many shades of pink there are. Maybe you wouldn't. This was, at one time I had 3 pink guitars. I had a pink Ibanez RG. I had a Strat that was kind of classic 50s shell pink. And then I have this one. This one needs a little bit of a setup. It has Duncan design pickups in it. And this comes right back to what I had said before about how these days Duncan design pickups aren't quite what they used to be, I don't think. It has 2, in here it has 2 like mini humbuckers. Although they don't really sound like it, but they do have 2 rails on them. And then a double coil and a typical, it's got master volume, master tone, 5-way, typical Super Strat switch. But the necks on these things play amazingly. This is a rosewood neck with the shark fin inlays. And the compound radius that Charvel and Jackson are doing right now, and even on some of the higher end Strats, I love it. I don't know how they do it, but these things play like a dream. So it may be pink, but I'm going to continue to play it like a man, and I'm probably going to keep this one. Now this Purple Burst beast is probably one of my favorite guitars in my collection. I've had it for a couple years. It's a Charvel San Dimas SoCal, and it has Seymour Duncan pickups in it. Don't quote me on this. I think it's a 59 in the neck and a JB in the bridge, or it's a Jazz in the neck and a JB in the bridge, because I have another Jackson that has, I think, the SH4 and then 59 combo. So those are 2 classic Seymour Duncan combos. I love the zebra pickups. I love the zebra covers. This is a, I want to say alder body with a flame maple top on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a Purple Burst. Another one of their great compound radius necks. Super, super smooth finish on this one. Unlike the Jackson, it doesn't have a painted neck. Has the classic, in my opinion, Charvel headstock that I love from the mid 80s before they went hockey stick and before Fender sued them. But the good news is now Fender owns Jackson Charvel. Anyway, this has what is known as the 6-pack of sound. It's got master volume, master tone with pulls on the volume. So you actually get 6 sounds out of a 3-way switch. Basically, just, I'm sure you've seen millions of videos on it. You can get this one by itself, this one by itself, them together with the inside coils, them together with the outside coils, in phase, out of phase, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is, with the coil splitting and all the different options in the in phase, out of phase, this is probably the most versatile, best playing guitar that's in this house. Except for maybe the Paul Reed Smith. And you can probably tell from the neck, I don't know if you guys can see the grunge, this one gets played a lot. This is till I got the PRS. This one had been my #1 Super Strat, and it's just a little different too. I wanted a more modern finish, and I don't know if you can see, it has a Floyd Rose tremolo, but it's got black chrome instead of black painted hardware or silver. It's actually a metallic, but it's a black chrome, which is a fantastic looking metal. Anyway, I love this guitar. It's awesome. And while we're on celebrity signature guitars, yet another guitar that needs no introduction. This beautiful beast here, as you can see, is the EVH Eddie Van Halen striped red, white, and black series. This was the one, this is probably the most iconic of the 3 that they originally released. They released this, the black and yellow and the white and black. But this was the one I want. If I thought I could only have one of these, this was probably it. And I was thrilled to get it after, I think when I was a teenager, I tried a couple of guitars, tried to stripe them, tried to do the Eddie thing. But it has Floyd Rose tremolo. It has the, I don't know, I think it's the Wolfgang pickup, not the Frankenstein pickup, the EVH Wolfgang pickup. Another compound radius, 22-inch neck, 22 fret neck. Like I say, sealed tuners, super smooth back, compound radius, big fat frets. And I don't know if you can tell on this particular one, kind of like the other Charvel, this one in particular, the neck is dirty. It is a dirty girl because it gets played a lot. I was super stoked to get this when I finally got it. And when they first came out, they were only like $900, which was a steal. They've gone up 100 because, believe it or not, this isn't a decal. This is a 3-step paint job that's very time consuming. That's why the red, white, black is more expensive than the others that just have 2 colors. But it's fantastic. And in sort of a tongue-in-cheek tribute to Eddie, if you can see this here or not, you can see the logo. I put a Gibson strap on it just because Eddie used some Gibson parts in his original Frankenstrat. It was kind of a hybrid of a Strat and a Gibson. So that's kind of like my little inside joke, is to go out of my way to find a Gibson Strat that kind of does it justice. Got a little of the Ace Frehley thing thrown in there too. So anyway, I love this guitar. It's a beast. I keep it knee flat always. Rolling right along with the Stars Guitars theme is Oopsie, another Eddie Van Halen Stripe series. Another one of these beasts. This one doesn't have quite as much playtime on it as the other one does. I only got this maybe a year ago. I got it on eBay. This was the one that I originally wanted because this is the one from the first album. And it's pretty much the same as the other, all the same parts, except it has a pick guard on this particular one. And one thing I forgot to mention for Eddie fans is, if you look on the knob there, I don't know if you can see it, but if not, there's a million pictures of it. It has 1 volume, no tone, but it says tone on there because Eddie used to vary his tone a lot by playing with his volume control. So that's like another inside Eddie Van Halen joke. And what did I do again? Gibson strap, lightning bolt. Throw a little Ace Frehley into the Eddie Van Halen mix. But this particular guitar is the original. It is the original Eruption guitar that launched a trillion guitar players. But yeah, this is another super great guitar. And even though it's the same as the red and black and white stripe one, this one's actually a little heavier. So it just goes to show you, it came out of the same factory, same woods, not too far away serial number wise from the red, white, and black one, but it's just a little bit heavier. It's funny how that is with guitars. But I love this. This is great. Love this guitar.